Okay. Hello. I am Karen McNeese, dietitian with the UK Health and Wellness Program. I am joined today by my colleague, Vanessa Oliver, who is waving there with her camera on, who is also a full time dietitian with the UK Health and Wellness Program. We had an overwhelming response to this presentation, and we thank you for being here. It's clear to us that you're interested in learning more about intuitive eating and possibly joining us for the upcoming mini sessions, but you may be struggling to understand what intuitive eating is all about. So that's what we're going to try to help you out with today. All right, so let's begin with what is intuitive eating? Intuitive eating can be described in a few different ways. One is as a self care framework to help you improve your relationship with food and focus on non weight aspects of your well being. In essence, intuitive eating is meant to help you achieve a more relaxed and enjoyable relationship with food. Another way to think about intuitive eating is as a roadmap to liberate yourself from the guilt, shame, and anxiety that's created by diet culture. And you'll see that we will talk a lot about diet culture today and also in the upcoming mini sessions. And finally, intuitive eating is a philosophy that empowers you to recognize, trust, and honor your body's inner wisdom and true needs. We know that diet culture tends to disconnect us from our body's inner wisdom and true needs. And so intuitive eating helps you reconnect with that. So people often ask, what is the science behind intuitive eating? And intuitive eating has actually been around for about 25 years. It was created by two dietitians named Evelyn Tribole and Elise Resch. And in that time, since intuitive eating began, a great deal of research has been done on the benefits of intuitive eating. Some of the benefits that have been shown in the research include the things you see listed here: higher levels of well being and life satisfaction, more body appreciation and acceptance, greater pleasure from eating, an enjoyment of a wide variety of foods, less emotional eating and binge eating, and also clinical benefits such as lower blood pressure and triglycerides and higher HDL, which is your good cholesterol. But intuitive eating is also important because of all the proven negative outcomes associated with dieting. So, dieting has been shown to be related to a preoccupation with body and food, repeated cycles of weight loss and gain, also known as yo yo dieting, which is actually linked to overall worse health outcomes. And dieting is also linked to lower self esteem and a higher risk of disordered eating and eating disorders. So, a big part of probably why you're here with us today is because you're wondering, is intuitive eating right for me? Is this something that I should spend some time and energy to explore further? And again, that's what these mini sessions that begin in May are all about. So, we think that intuitive eating is right for anybody. But if any of these statements really resonate with you, then you're probably ready for intuitive eating. Here are some things to think about. You want to feel calm and in control around food. You want to stop thinking about food all the time. You want to trust your body when it tells you it's hungry and full. You want to trust yourself around all foods. You want to learn how to cope with your feelings without relying on food. You want to exercise because you enjoy it, not to burn calories or earn calories. And you want to be able to eat any food without guilt, shame, or anxiety. And I know that sounds like a tall order, but intuitive eating can truly help you achieve all of these things. Okay, so let's move on then to getting familiar with what we call the 10 principles of intuitive eating. Okay, the first one is to reject the diet mentality. You want to feel anger at the lies of diet culture that have led you to your feelings of failure. The truth is, you are not a failure. The diet culture has failed you. And we need to let go of that false hope of losing weight easily, quickly, and permanently. And to truly be an intuitive eater, you must extinguish any lingering hopes you have about diets. Second, honor your hunger. Hunger is a normal biological process. Your body needs to trust it will consistently have access to food. And your body loses that trust during dieting. But the good news is you can rebuild that trust through intuitive eating by learning to recognize and honor the biological signals of hunger. Third, make peace with food. We know that putting foods off limits leads to intense feelings of deprivation, uncontrollable cravings, and loss of control eating. And honestly, for this reason, dieting just perpetuates the false belief that many of us have that we can't control ourselves around food. But it really goes back to that deprivation and loss of control cycle. Fourth, challenge the food police. So, the food police perpetuate the impossible and unrealistic rules that diet culture has created. And then when we try to follow the rules and inevitably break the rules, we get stuck in a cycle of guilt and shame. And honestly, eating cannot be viewed as a normal or pleasurable activity until these food police are out of your head. Number 5, discover the satisfaction factor. You deserve to experience pleasure and satisfaction from eating. It's a great joy in life. And if you do not enjoy your food, you may feel full, which is the physical sensation of eating, but not satisfied, which is the mental sensation of fullness. Okay. And diet culture does deprive us from eating in a way that is truly satisfying and enjoyable to us. So at this moment, I am going to turn the reins over to my colleague, Vanessa. She's going to continue with the 10 principles of intuitive eating, discuss how you can get started with intuitive eating, and also talk about the mini sessions that begin in May. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me okay. All right, looks like we're okay. So I'm going to go on with number 6, which is feel your fullness, right? Your body gives you these signals to help you determine whether you're full or if you're hungry, but for a variety of reasons, we often do get disconnected from them. You are meant to eat, right? Not just to live, but also to enjoy the pleasure of eating, and the ability to experience that joy of eating is a gift that we often forgo for a lot of cultural reasons. And honestly, the more that you enjoy the experience of eating, the less food it takes to satisfy you. Number 7, coping with emotions with kindness involves honoring your feelings without using food, right? We know that difficult feelings come with life. They're a part of life. Sometimes we do use food as a short-term distraction or a short-term comfort, but we know, right? We know that it's not going to solve the underlying issue. There are ways to comfort yourself and resolve your issues other than food. And intuitive eating encourages you to not only discover those for yourself, but also to make you know that it's okay to experience those uncomfortable emotions in our lives. We can sit with them. Number 8, we have respecting your body, accepting your genetic blueprint, right? I've got a shoe size 9, okay? I don't waste my time trying to squeeze into a 7. It doesn't make sense, okay? The same is true for clothing sizes. If you weren't born with a particular genetic makeup for a size, right? Why are we knocking ourselves out trying to get into that size, okay? You are absolutely perfect the way that you are, and accepting your genetic blueprint can help you with that. You don't have to love your body all the time, but respect it, take care of it. Number 9, right? Movement, okay? We think of exercise, but all forms of movement are what I'm talking about here. Feeling the difference means what Karen mentioned earlier. With diet culture, we're told that we have to burn it, right? Burn it to earn it. But our body's made to move. Our body is made to experience movement as enjoyable. You don't have to spend countless hours to do a particular type of workout. You can go outside for a walk, right? Turn on your favorite playlist and dance around the office. Just get your body moving. And number 10, honoring your health with gentle nutrition. Okay, it's not about eating perfectly all the time. No one lives that way. I don't live that way. Karen doesn't live that way. Okay, it is the consistent choices that you make over time that matter the most. Choose foods that not only support your health, but also please your taste buds. It's about aiming for progress, right? Not perfection. So I'm going to, since we've gone over these 10 principles, we're going to go down just to some 5 very basic next steps, ways that you can bring just a little bit of practice into your life with intuitive eating. And the first one is right there, right? Taking action to reject diet culture. We know that the diet culture worships one particular ideal. It worships one particular body size, and it equates thinness with good health and with moral value. It's so prevalent in our world today. You don't have to be a part of it, okay? You have a choice. Refuse to be controlled by this. Walk past those magazines, throw out those diet books. If you have particular influencers on social media that you follow that are espousing this particular viewpoint, you don't have to look at them anymore, okay? Whatever you're looking at that supports that diet culture, we support you knocking it out of your life. Number 2, second step, becoming aware of your internal food police and starting to notice your thoughts around food, right? When you become aware of these thoughts, you can start to challenge those thoughts. You can start to replace those thoughts. Start screaming a loud no to those thoughts in your head that declare that you are good or bad for a particular food or eating behavior. Try to replace that negative self-talk with positive self-talk that's based on rational thinking instead of exaggerated and inaccurate thoughts. Number 3, okay, don't skip meals. Oh my gosh, most bodies get hungry every 3 to 4 hours, okay? That's how we're designed, okay? But so many times we see folks who are skipping meals in an attempt to save calories, and we see that this backfires all the time because you get hungry, right? And then what happens? You start to eat in an out of control manner. If you've ever reached the end of the day and you are starving by dinner time, then you might look at your daytime eating behavior and food choices to see if there's some changes that you can make there. Number 4, paying attention to hunger and fullness cues, right? So what this 4th step is recommending is realizing that a rigid diet unique particular biology, right? Instead of relying on external cues, so like a diet, for example, to tell you what to eat or to tell you when to eat, what hours of the day you're allowed to eat. Listen to your body's signals, right? This means stopping the counting of calories. It means not following dieting rules. It means using your body's innate hunger and innate fullness cues to guide your eating behavior. The more that you are able to have this two-way conversation with your body, the more attuned you are to your body's cues, then you're going to notice how certain foods make you feel, okay? And you're going to want to eat more of those foods that make you feel good. And number 5, the 5th step that we've got here is practicing intentional eating. This is all about staying present, right? It's about slowing down when you can. It's about minimizing distractions like your phone or your television or your computer. I know that this has been hard for a lot of us over the last year, but tuning in can help you taste every bite. It'll have you more involved in that two-way conversation between yourself and your body. It'll engage you in that ability to feel those hunger and fullness cues, and you're going to be more satisfied because you're using all 5 senses to enjoy the experience of eating. That's going to lead to more satisfaction, you guys. All right, so those are the 5 steps, okay? These are things that you can start now, but we want you to learn more, okay? And for that, I want to just mention that you can join us for our series coming up. It's 10 mini sessions over 10 weeks to further explore the 10 principles that we just discussed, as well as those introductory ways to begin practice of intuitive eating. So these live sessions will occur on Zoom on Thursdays from 12 to 12:20, starting on May 13th, and that will go until July 15th. And if you're registered for today's presentation, you will receive after this presentation an email invitation to register for the mini sessions. We do ask that you register for those sessions, and then you'll get the link to be able to attend. You can see in front of you there is a link to register, but again, you'll receive this link in an email following today's session. I do also want to mention another program that we will be offering next week. It's hard to believe, but UK HR Health and Wellness and WorkLife are collaborating and celebrating with our 3rd annual Well-Being Week. This year, we're focused on moving forward with our well-being, and that's our theme for Well-Being Week. We want to invite you to enjoy presentations, meetups, blog posts, videos. We've got all of it. There's also going to be a live outdoor group fitness class that you can attend in person or online. That'll be in the amphitheater behind Memorial Hall. And there's also going to be a step up challenge. Those are always really popular. We've got the link in the chat box there. Jacob just dropped that in there for us. So if you are interested, you can click that link and learn more about all the activities. I'm going to open up this chat box now for questions. So if you have questions about any of the intuitive eating principles, about learning more about the mini sessions, or just anything we talked about today that you'd like to put out there, now's your time. So go on and drop those in the chat box, and we will answer them in the order that they are listed. Janet, that's a great question. Thank you. So yes, we are going to record those mini sessions in case you do miss one. So thank you for asking that one.
I will add too that when you join the mini sessions, you will get exclusive access to a website where the information that we distribute in those mini sessions will be housed. So not only will it be like a one-stop shop for any sessions that you miss in those recordings, but also any PDFs, links, resources such as those.
Thank you, Fadia. Hi, Mina. So you have registered for the mini sessions for...
No, the other session starting next week.
Oh, for Well-Being Week.
Yes.
Okay. I may let Jacob respond to that. I'm not sure which, I know some sessions certainly will be recorded or live streamed, but I could not tell you exactly which ones or the general. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Jacob.
And
yes.
I registered a few days ago. Will I get an invitation with a Zoom link on that?
Mina, are you talking about the Eat Well membership?
Yes.
Aha, okay. So Mina, that's something that we can definitely chat about offline. That is a program that Karen and I do offer that is separate from the intuitive eating. That's a 3-month membership where we talk about all things nutrition. You will be receiving an email with all of the information you need for that program. But that's really cool that you brought it up, because there might be some people here attending today that don't realize that Karen and I are the dietitians behind the Eat Well membership. So for more information about that, you can always go to your UK Health and Wellness dashboard. You can go to the UK Health and Wellness website. Maybe Jacob is really fast on the chat and can go on and, or Karen, I see her typing, can go on and put that link. But Mina, yes, you will be receiving all of the information that you need.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
This probably is a good time to mention, since we had a question about that, the authors of intuitive eating, and Catherine mentioning that she bought the book many years ago. Yeah, we will point out that there absolutely is a book by those two dietitians called Intuitive Eating that you can purchase wherever, yes, thank you, Vanessa, wherever you like to buy your books. It's very affordable. It's very consumer friendly. It's meant to be accessible to anyone. You don't have to be a dietitian or a health professional. So if you're just like really excited to get into intuitive eating and all of that, go ahead, purchase the book. Absolutely. There's also an accompanying workbook as well that you can buy in addition to that if you really want to dive deep into some of those practices. But those are some of the things, those practices in the workbook that we will be working through in our mini sessions too. Jacob, thank you for sharing the Eat Well membership link. We appreciate that. A departure from your way of thinking, Beth. Yes. Yeah. That's what we're hoping. This is really, and you know, the authors of Intuitive Eating will tell you that this is a revolutionary way to think about food. And I think that might even be on the cover of that book Vanessa just showed us, that word, revolutionary. Yes, it is meant.
Yes.
It is. Yep.
Anti-diet.
It is a radical departure, absolutely, from how people are used to thinking about food. And that's why we are so excited to be able to bring this to you.
Yeah, I love that Beth used that term reprogramming too, because it's a new framework about thinking of things, especially when we've been taught all of our lives to feel or think one way about food, about our bodies, about culture in general. So yeah, we're excited to take a deep dive for sure.
Well, anyone is thinking of any final questions they may have, I'll just remind you that, you know, if you enjoyed today's presentation, please share it when you get the email. Feel free to forward that to any eligible friends and coworkers at UK who you think might be interested. Feel free to spread the word. You did not have to attend today's presentation to be part of the mini sessions. Again, that's why we're recording this and posting it so that people can view it later on and decide about the mini sessions. But yes, feel free to tell all your friends and coworkers at UK about this too.
Thank you, Kristen.
Are there any final questions anyone has? You are also always welcome to reach out to us, and I'll put this in the chat box at our email, eatwelldietitians@uky.edu. That is where we'll be sending that email about the mini session, so you can always reply to that to get a hold of us or ask more questions. Okay. Well, we also want to thank Jacob for being our unofficial moderator here and host of your Wellbeing Week next week. So please, again, be sure to join him for that. And again, thank you for being here with us today to learn about intuitive eating. And we hope to see many, many of you again starting May 13th. All right. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.